evening, guys. Welcome back to another episode of We Are the Community. It's episode 5, I believe. Yes, it is episode 5. Tonight we have a special guest. You guys probably have seen him on Instagram. Has over 2,000 followers on Instagram. Really, really nice collection. I actually look at his stuff plenty. Let's welcome, guys, Austin Nicholas. What's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, brother. I appreciate the invite on here. Glad you actually finally get to talk with you.
Yes, thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting. So let me see who's in the Insane One. What's going on, man? Thanks for being here. We got 4 people in here right now, which is awesome. Thank you guys for being here. So let's get right to it. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What was your first figures, if you remember? What got you started, and give us a little bit of your background in collecting?
Yeah, man. So I feel like I'm one of those people who got into this extremely late. I started collecting about 4 years ago. To be honest, I truly was one of those people that didn't know that people actually bought and collected like action figures and whatnot, at least not what this is now, right? So yeah, it was about 4 years ago. I bought a Funko Pop. Actually,
I feel like everybody starts with Funko Pop for some reason.
That's the gateway drug, right?
Yeah.
So I got my first one. I obviously, if you keep up with my content, I don't really buy these anymore, but like this is pretty sentimental to me. This is what got me.
One?
Yeah, the first action figure, first collectible ever.
What is it?
Red X from Teen Titans.
Oh,
so
cool.
Yeah, this figure means a lot to me. And yeah, man, I bought that, and that's when I kind of like started looking up some YouTube stuff, just like trying to learn a little bit more about it. Then stumbled across like some YouTubers who had this stuff, kind of fell down that rabbit hole. Made an Instagram, didn't really think I was going to dedicate the Instagram towards like action figures and whatnot, but found out there's a community. Hello, everybody. And then, yeah, it's like one little rabbit hole after another, man. Went from Funkos, and you know what the crazy thing is? I bought these Funkos, and they were for like cheap prices, right? $2, $4, $8 a piece.
Sure.
And at that time, I saw people buy Marvel Legends and whatnot. And in my head, I'm thinking, it blows my mind that people are spending $20 on an action figure. Like, that's what I thought at that point. Just because, like, I didn't really see the value in it and everything.
You thought it was a lot? You thought it was a lot?
I thought it was a lot. Yeah, man. I thought it was a lot. And then, some of my first Marvel Legends was my Build-A-Figure Galactus, my HasLab Sentinels. And I kind of fell into it pretty quickly, bought quite a bit, but I got out of that pretty much just as quickly as I got into it. And then bought my first Sideshow figure, my first 6-scale figure. And that's my Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger. And as soon as I got that one in, man, I was like, this is it. Like,
the scale blew your mind.
It did, man. And you know the crazy thing? I opened it, I displayed it. I was like, wow, like this is where it's at. And then the weird thing is I really didn't open up my Marvel Legends. I didn't open up the Funkos or anything else like that. So my room at that point felt like a thrift shop, right? It didn't feel like a collector's room. I felt like I was just walking into like an old antique shop or whatnot. And then yeah, man, got into this 6-scale thing, and then I pretty much really got into it. That was all about 2 years ago. And then 6-scale, quarter-scale statues, and then the display itself. That's kind of like my bread and butter.
What did you pay for the Freddy, if you remember?
Man, if I remember correctly, I think it was like $90.
Yeah, back then that's what the prices were.
Yeah, man. And I was
you bought it used or you bought it new?
I'm sorry?
You bought it used or you bought it new?
I bought it used.
You bought it used, yeah. I was gonna say because even brand new they were like 120, 100 and something like that. They weren't that low yet.
Yeah, man. So about 2 years ago, I bought it. It had to be like $90 if I remember correctly. And then, yeah, man, fell in love with it, and haven't really gotten back.
what is your favorite line to collect right now out of all of them? Horror, Marvel, DC, Star Wars.
I mean, that's tough. That's tough. I feel like I want to say horror because it's the month of October. I'm watching a scary movie every night. I have some new ones on the way that I'm pretty excited for. But I'd probably have to go with Star Wars though. As much as I want to say horror, I'd probably go Star Wars.
Did you see the new Hellraiser on Hulu?
Oh, yeah.
How is it? I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't yet.
Okay, man. I'll tell you this. I'm in a lot of like horror groups, right? And that seems to be pretty like divisive movie within the community. Horror like fans are kind of like Star Wars fans, man. It's really easy to piss them off. I finished the movie and I really liked it. I felt like they did a really...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I finished it and I really do think they did a really good job creating a new storyline. Because I don't know if you saw the original.
I was going to say.
Or the
10 what's the difference?
Dude, the 10 other sequels are pretty trash, man. They made one pretty cohesive story. Actually, good actors, great acting. I understand some of the complaints. I don't want to say what those complaints are until you watch it. They mean you can chat about it. I very much understand the complaints, though. It's not a perfect movie, but I finished it. And I was pretty happy with it. So that's a big win for me.
Now, you're saying it's a different storyline, so it has nothing to do with the originals.
No, you know what? Once you watch it, though, there's a fan rumor going around that I'll share with you once you finish it. So that fan rumor kind of connects it to the original.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. So it's like the, what's that called? The multiverse type stuff.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
All right, let me see who's in here real quick. Insane One, what's up, man? Thanks for being here, my friend. William, JP, that's my guy. Let me see who else is in here. Chris Santos, what's up, man? Thank you for stopping by. All right, so let me see what he's saying. Clive Barker said he liked the new movie, so he's a part of it. Oh, nice. Who's Clive Barker, the director, I'm assuming?
Yeah, the original guy who made it. Yeah, he pretty much gave this one his blessing.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. So now, so you like Star Wars. So now in your collection right now, would you say you have more of the Star Wars figures than anything else?
Yeah, pretty much. More Star Wars.
And how many in total do you have if you've counted yet?
You know what? I haven't counted. Definitely a lot lower than yours, but if I were to spitball, I think maybe it actually in hand, not pre-ordered, maybe 85, maybe 90.
Displayed or just boxed up too?
Mixture of displayed and boxed up.
Wow.
I think I have like 8 or 10 boxed up that I haven't opened.
Look, your boy's in the house. Commander Green, what's up, man?
Oh, Harold's great guy.
Yeah,
awesome,
he's got some. He takes some. Yeah, I was gonna say he takes some sick pictures. I don't know if I asked him to be on the show. I don't remember, but if you're interested, let me know. I've been messaging. I know Insane One is gonna be on here soon. He already agreed to do it, so he'll be on next. And then my buddy Modoc Mike eventually, if he decides to show up. And I have a Clone Collector as well. You've probably seen him too. Clone Collector. He's gonna eventually do the show. All right. So, what'd you say? 80 something or 90 something figures?
Probably like 85, 90 if I would put a number on it.
Now, insured, not insured, because I feel like that's a thing for people who.
Yeah, man. You know what? Mine aren't insured. I've kind of looked at. I've seen a lot of threads in different like Facebook groups, kind of like seeing other people's opinions about it and whatnot. Yeah, mine aren't insured. Yeah,
no, same thing. I looked into it. From the beginning, you would think, they're so expensive. You're spending so much money, especially somebody. I have at this point, I have 1153. That are just.
And if people even know what a cheap 6-scale figure is, they can quickly do the math, right?
Right. So I looked at it and reminds about yeah, you get a rider policy, and but I looked into that. Even if even if it's $20 a month, at the end of the day, and I've said this before, the insurance company's there to make money. You know what I mean? So God forbid anything happens, they're not paying for what you've spent over the years anyway. So that's why it is what it is. God forbid anything happens, whatever. But to go out of my way to spend more money out of pocket, for something like that, it's not for me. I don't.
Yeah,
That's why I ask, because I know people have different views on it.
yeah, brother. My collection isn't anywhere near yours, but the thing is, if my house were to burn down, I have my homeowner's insurance. Yeah, this in here and in the other room, that'd be the least of my worries, right? To be honest, if my house were to burn down, I wouldn't immediately think about my toys or anything else like that. So
no, it's true. It's true. I mean, but again, we're comparing two different worlds. You know what I mean? And so, again, God forbid, not that I wouldn't care, but as long as everybody's safe, it is what it is. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? So that's why I'm not too worried about it. But I wanted to ask you that because like I said, it's more it's more of a common conversation that I didn't think it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People do think about that, and again, I started thinking about that maybe a couple years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So it wasn't something that I was like, let me get into it right away. No, because there's no, you wouldn't think that, especially for me. I started collecting, never expecting to be, 1,200, figures deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't think that way. So I just knew that once I moved out of the apartment and we bought the house, that it was going to be I was going to have a room dedicated for it. Never an entire basement. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It just depends on, I guess, every situation varies. Now, all right. So you like Star Wars? So now, do you get everything Star Wars that comes out?
No. I pretty much get the things I like, man. If something catches my eye, I sometimes do get into hype, or one of those late random nights, I'll see something on eBay or Facebook group, and I'll randomly buy it. But no, definitely don't get everything.
What is your favorite line from Star Wars so far that you've been collecting on a normal basis? Whether it's the Clone Wars or
pretty much, probably the Mandalorian line.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, that one's been great for me, man. I've really enjoyed the figures I got from that.
What haven't you picked up from that?
That's a good question. That's there's a few, man. Moff Tarkin, I haven't got. What is that big? It's not a Death Trooper, but
the Dark Trooper.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
That thing is beautiful, man.
Dude,
let me tell you something.
Pictures, man.
I thought, because in the pictures it looks like it would be a cheap plastic piece. It just looks, very robotic, very blah. Just looks like a dumb robot. Let me tell you something. That thing in hand, I don't know why they didn't just make a diecast, because it looks and it feels like it should have been, and it's diecast. You know what I mean? The joints, the upper torso, the legs look very thin, but the whole upper body, amazing. The joints,
great. He looks great, man. Now I'm gonna pull the trigger here soon, because I want 2 of those and I want Moff Tarkin.
I was gonna say you have to get 2. I bought 1 and I was like, man, if I had the room, I would get a second one. But I can't be doing those doubles.
They're really not badly priced for a figure, yeah.
And you could get a coupon or a discount code or something, and you'll get it, because they're not selling out anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's plenty of those.
It's funny you say that, because this is something I saw the other day in a group, and it really kind of stuck with me. So this is all still relatively new to me, right? But the discussion started, should a person pre-order figures anymore, since I guess in the past you kind of had to, or else it would sell out. And nowadays it doesn't really seem like things are selling out. And like one example, like Captain Rex, right? I pre-ordered that one. Now, dude, I've seen that sell for $180. I saw that sell 2 days ago for $180 in a Facebook group. I see it consistently sell for 200 flat, like 200 shipped. So a lot of figures have been selling extremely cheap or under retail. So what are your thoughts on pre-ordering versus just waiting for it to come out and seeing what happens? Or does not even bother you? So you're just going to do one thing or another?
Well, it's kind of tricky at this point because, I come from an era where the Hot Toys are very limited, very limited. And it wasn't limited like they were numbered. It was just they were not making as many.
Yeah.
So I've talked about this multiple times because it was like the most shocking experience for me. So, and actually, this figure right here, I'm going to show you real quick because and I bought two for this reason. So this figure here, this is my second one that I never opened, and I bought it used. And I don't even know if the figure's broken. I don't even know if anything's wrong with it because I never took it out of the box. So when this figure was announced, this was during the Avengers hype. This figure came out and sold out within maybe 2 to 3 hours of it being announced on Sideshow. That's how limited these things were.
Yeah.
So this is the Mark 7 plastic battle damage version. So this thing came and went, right? So this figure, so at the moment, during that time, I was not getting doubles at all. I just was not. Some figures, like for example, what they were making back then, a lot of was, like I said, Batman. They had, the Jokers. Everything was from the Dark Knight trilogy. They had Iron Man, so they had, the Avengers line. So it was very spaced out figure. When this came out on Sideshow, because I was already, buying from Sideshow, I was like, you know what? So I ordered mine right away. I said, you know what? Let me go for a second one. Like hours later, gone.
Yeah.
And that's what taught me. Just pre-order. If you're going to get multiples, do them immediately because, so that's what created that habit for me to start pre-ordering everything. You know what I mean? And then when I really got into, pre-ordering multiples, then it was just, all right, pre-order 2, 3, 4 sometimes. It just became a habit out of fear of it selling out on me.
Yeah.
It's a different world right now. It's a completely different world right now. But the problem is you're taking a risk as well. I mean, you're always going to get a warning if you're lucky, that it's running out or blue screen or whatever. But you never know how many people are really into a specific figure, how many they're actually making, because you don't know. They could surprise us one day and just make a couple thousand, and nobody knows that because they expect them to make 20,000 every time.
Back warehouse, isn't that one thing that they say found in the warehouse?
Well, that's a new thing. That's all of a sudden happening, within the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've seen that on a few figures.
Yeah, they found
the Ghostbusters.
Well, the Ghostbusters, they found a Jack Nicholson Joker. They found a New Hope Leia. They found pieces like
one.
that. Yeah.
You know what? I haven't opened my Nicholson Joker. I forgot about that.
That thing is beautiful. That thing is beautiful. So
you know what? I have that in there still, but I also just ordered. I say just ordered. It was a few weeks ago. Mars Toys 6-scale Nicholson Joker.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a good figure.
The one I have is the mime variant of it. Mars Toys is the actual colored version of it. So once that one comes in, I'll definitely be displaying them together.
Yeah, no, those are good ones. And from what I understand, they came out really nice too. They look really, really close to the Hot Toys ones. Obviously not the same bodies, but the head sculpts are really good. The outfits kind of off, but for the price, you're not going to beat that.
Yeah, man. I don't remember what I paid. I think it had to be like 160, 170.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. and at that price point, man, you can't complain about something being slightly off, right?
Exactly. No, it's just at the end of the day, the only one who's going to know it's you. You know, the only one who's going to enjoy it is you. The only one who's going to appreciate it is you. You know what I mean? Yeah, you could take pictures and show them off, but at the end of the day, it's your money. It's out of your pocket, and you're the one who's going to enjoy it walking in and out of the room. You know, whenever you're in there. So that's why stuff like that doesn't really matter. If you really want the figure, you like the character, you know, you want to have it in your collection, 160, 70, 80 bucks, and you have your figure. That's not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, but going back to the pre-ordering, it's a different world right now. It's a different world. Like I in my group today, I think it's Rick here sent me. Shout out to Rick. He sent me a screenshot of an email that Sideshow sent him for more Arena Boba Fett's. You know, we understand that they're sold out. We know that they're gone. You know, people were paying $500 plus for them on Toys Wonderland and eBay and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And now they're saying that in December there's a second batch coming. So when did this start happening? You know what I mean? Where does this, you know, come from? So it's a lot of things that are changing, you know, at this moment. These warehouse finds have never, not at least that I know of, in the over 10 years that I've been collecting, that was not a thing.
Yeah, I see both the pros and the cons of it, right? You know, the pros, everybody will get a chance at getting a figure that they want, which is fantastic for the community. But the cons, you know, is the person who spent the $600 to get an exclusive, right? And then that's pretty big. That's a big fail, honestly. You know, if you spend $700 secondhand market on supposedly an exclusive, and then they come out with that reissue like right after, that'd be a hard pill to swallow, unfortunately.
No, that sucks. And we talked about that last week. But let me just make a correction real quick. It wasn't Rick. I apologize. It was Insane One, because you guys both sent me stuff a lot. That's why I confused you. He sends me a lot of things to keep me updated, and so do you. I apologize. It was Insane One, my friend. He sent me today the screenshot of the email from. Good thing you're in here, because I would have messed that up. He sent me the screenshot of the email from Sideshow saying that there's a new batch coming. But we talked about that point you just made last week. You know, if you talk about reissues in a negative way, the first response you're going to get is, well, what about the people who don't have it? You know what I mean? Which, fine. But it's like, is it really our fault that you don't have it? You know what I mean? Like, we want these to be limited. Not everybody should have these things. You know what I mean? That would be the whole point of having or being in an exclusive-ish hobby and a high-end hobby. You don't want just anybody and everybody to have what you have.
Yeah. So I see that, man. There is, you know, especially for somebody who collects like this stuff, you know, this stuff isn't cheap or anything else. But when you throw out words like exclusive, you're expecting it to be exclusive, right? And when you put that in when a person puts that in their collection, you're expecting this to be something that isn't seen on Instagram too often or in everybody's collection and whatnot. What I think Sideshow does when these things found in the warehouse or a second batch or a reissue, it really kind of tarnishes what exclusive actually means. And just like we've seen, I'm sure in your Facebook group and others, man, it upsets the collectors. It does, you know, it doesn't really help the sentiment overall. But, you know, the sad thing about that, though, I think even when the sentiment's negative, you know, we're still customers. Even when people complain, you know, they're still going to end up buying it, you know. So
they got you hooked. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like when a reissue like that comes out of anything, you know, and a reissue is not a 2.0, right? So reissue, we're talking about straight, like for example, the Mark I War Machine that was just released. That's a straight reissue, right?
That Sideshow, that's pretty much just a straight release, right?
Yeah, that War Machine Mark I was a straight reissue. So, you know, for something like that, it's not, you know, obviously Sideshow is the seller, but Hot Toys is the company doing all this, right? They're the one making these figures. So and we talked about this, last week also. You're killing the value of your own figures. You know what I mean? Of your own product. Because think about it. They're so worried about killing the secondary market, that, for example, that War Machine could have been going for $700, $800, $900 right now, maybe even $1,000. The thing is die-cast. The thing is massive. It's a Mark I, so it's a classic piece, and so now people who have that worth all this value, boom, it's worth barely, even retail at this point, because not only is it older, but you have a newer one coming out for retail.
Yeah.
It may be a little, maybe $20, $40 more, if that, just to increase for inflation and whatever. But you can't sell that for anything over what you paid for it anymore at all, and it sucks for, again, I don't buy, to resell my collection, because what I buy for myself, I keep. If I buy doubles and triples, and that's what I use for reselling, and now for the raffles. But it just sucks that if your goal was to hold on to this figure to make it gain in value, and then they kill it, and I guess that's the goal, right? To kill that.
Yeah, man. The goal, I believe from their end, both Hot Toys as the maker and Sideshow as the distributor, when this happens, they're seeing such a huge outcry once a figure has a really high secondary market value. They're seeing the outcry for it, right? And in their heads, they don't really care about that secondary market value.
Correct.
Outside, this means paying customers on our end, even though it fucks over the current collectors. That's all they've seen is just willing customers to buy it. Just like you said, no extra thought goes into it outside of just a reissue. You know what? As not only as a collector, but like as a fan of seeing displays and whatnot, when I see somebody that has a Count Dooku in their collection, or a Dark Side Anakin, I see those things and I'm like, wow, like those are Grail pieces. And I see that and I immediately think they've either paid a lot of money, they've been in the hobby a long time. I just think of that as a Grail, right? Now, though, the scary thing is I don't want to buy anything like that right now, because I'm assuming we're going to get some re-releases of those coming soon. Look at this just happened last week, because I'm buying the third-party pieces for them. It's the Adam West Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Batman and Robin.
Yes.
You were seeing those figures go for $800 for the two of them. $500 for Batman, or $400 for Batman, and $300 for Robin, or $400 for Robin. But like $600 to $800 a piece for that set. Now, that third party company is coming out and making them. I forget what the third party company is. I'm pre-ordering them by this weekend, but they're like $250 for the two of them, or something
Isn't it like
they're,
Present Toys or something?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. You know what? I just ordered a few different things from Present Toys. That Indiana Jones, Terminator.
Yes, the Indiana Jones with the real leather jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, man. They also have a Terminator coming out. But like, yeah, that just came out. So like, I'm now seeing everybody post up their Adam West Batman and Robin and whatnot. But it kind of makes it scary buying a Grail figure at this point. Even if Hot Toys doesn't reissue it, what if a third party company makes it?
Well, they did.
They did.
They did, and now
for a great price. And I'm going to be a customer. So
well, did you see that they also teased the Penguin and the Riddler?
Yo, yeah, the Penguin from the Batman, right?
No. The Penguin from the 1966. Yeah, the Penguin and the Riddler. Yeah, they did both of them.
I'm all on board. That isn't my favorite iteration of Batman, but it has such a nostalgic feel to it, and I'm a Batman sucker anyway, so I'm in for that. I love it.
Yeah. No, they did them both right after they announced the three Jokers, because there's three different versions of the Joker.
Yep, I'm buying.
They did right after that. They did Batman and Robin, and then the company took two pictures, one of the Riddler and one of the Penguin from the same show.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so that's going to be insane.
That Joker's really cheap too. That Caesar, or is it
Romero?
Yeah. is it Type A that they have that was like is the more
Type
expensive?
A. The Type A was the purple suit, I believe.
Yeah, that was not bad. I think it was like 150, 160 or something.
Something like that. Yeah, no, they're not bad because at the end of the day, it's
They don't
the
have to pay
outfit.
that's pretty much it. They don't have to pay the licensing
Correct.
that Hot
Correct.
Toys pay for the likeness of the character or the actor or anything.
They can't charge you a lot because at the end of the day, all they're doing is the outfit, body's super cheap, the outfit and the head sculpt. That's it. You know what I mean? So they can't kill you with those prices.
You know what I love about third-party figures, man, since we're talking about this right now? I was asked the other day, what's something I'm really excited for to come in hand? And like the person was expecting me to say like some Star Wars figure or Marvel or something. I think that stuff's extremely boring. I love to collect it. Star Wars is that's my genre, that's my category, right? That's my thing. I love Star Wars. I'll forever love it. But it doesn't really excite me as much. Like I have a So Toys Omni-Man that's supposed to be coming in soon. I have I think it's So that did.
Yeah, it is. It is.
There's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch.
I have
I have those two coming in, and I'm more excited about Omni-Man and the Grinch because they're so fun, and I don't see these in any collection.
Right.
So they're so much fun. I'm more excited about these than absolutely anything else that I have pre-ordered.
So the three Jokers are Mars Toys, and the Batman and Robin are Saturn Toys, which is the same company.
Got it. Okay.
They're both the same company. So yeah, so they're and we'll tell you the exact price right now. The Joker Type A is $150, like you said.
The others are cheaper, I believe.
Yeah, no, they're cheap. And then the I'm looking at 16kit.com, KitChen's website.
Oh,
and,
that's his website. I was actually on there today looking at those.
Yep, and then he's got $245 for, I guess, the pair. Yeah, $245 for Batman and Robin.
Yeah, man. And
yeah, it's not bad.
How can no one can complain about that. That's amazing.
Graham, what's up? Yeah, what's up, man? Thanks for being here. Super cheap. But what's gonna be sick is I paid my second shipping charge on the 1966 Batmobile from Jazz Inc. So that's gonna look amazing. I can't wait for that. I got the deluxe version. So they're shipping by the 25th of October. Wait, I want to see what Nathan said. Newer collector, and I would rather pay more for older figure out of stock figures that have been rehashed and killing the uniqueness of 2.0. That's fine. Yeah, exactly. I'd rather 2.0 over reissue any day. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, because I feel like what they're doing right is with like the Heavy Mandalorian. They're coming out with the new Heavy Mandalorian, but it's like it's different, right? You get a bit more from it. I don't think at this point, if we know if it's a complete reissue or not, but it doesn't seem like it's a reissue. I'm sure obviously some of the parts are reused and whatnot, but
it's not an exact reissue because they're adding the shield, number one, and they're naming it Paz Vizsla, not Heavy Mando.
See, that changes it. That's a big deal.
Correct. So that's a different. Same thing with the what is it? The oh my god, the from the Rogue One, the robot. What the hell's his name?
Oh, K2SO.
K2SO. He's got a new one coming.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, he's got Rogue One is K2SO, and then for Mando, it's whatever droid they called it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares what that new name is. Everyone just wants it for a stand-in.
Right. Let me see what they called it. Oh shit. Yeah, KX Enforcer droid. So, again, it's the exact same figure, but now it's a different name and it's a different line, it's a different brand. Yeah. So you cannot say, you could display it with your Rogue One line, absolutely, but that it's not going to have the same value as the one branded Rogue One. And that's the problem with those, if you're looking for value in your figures, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which to a certain extent, I think we all are. You know,
Yeah.
I think we would all want the things.
I said this earlier, man. I don't buy this stuff to resell it, but I'd be lying to say I don't want this stuff to go up in value.
Correct.
I'd be lying to say I don't want this to retain
Correct.
the value it's currently at. No, I buy the stuff because I love it and I enjoy it. But man, if you give me the option of all this shooting up in price versus tanking, I wanted to shoot up in price.
Absolutely. No, and that's what I mean. We may not get into it thinking that way, but when we realize that some pieces that does happen to, we would like to know or expect that all the pieces go up in value. And when they do stuff like this, that's when it ruins everything.
Yep. I'm all for buying something you love, and when you get a chance to sell it as high as you can. I mean, I bought my 67 Mustang a bit ago, and I'm putting it up for sale this weekend only because I got it for a very great deal. It's been fun owning it, and I love it, but I very much value the additional cost I'm gonna get on the profit versus it just sitting in my garage. So
this is a 1/6 scale Mustang. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
How many miles?
85,000 original.
Wow, that's sick.
Completely.
How much? Can you talk about how much you're making, or not really?
Yeah, man. I'm a pretty open book. I'm gonna shoot for 14K extra.
Oh wow, that's a nice. And then I'm guessing they're all going for Hot Toys.
Man, it's so funny. I'll be moving out of this house, and I got a little bit more to do on the remodel, and I'll probably spend like $5,000 on the remodel, or $5,000 on the remodel itself just to finish it up. And my house is fantastic, dude. I'm very blessed to own this and live in a nice place. But there's a few more things I want to do to make it more attractive for an Airbnb.
Oh,
and
okay.
then, the other bit, man, I don't know. Definitely splurging a bit on some toys, right? That's obviously going to happen. Get some things I want. I'll be creating a new room at the new place, so a bit of money's going to go into that one because I'm really focusing on. I'm really excited for a new display and a new setup versus anything else. I'd be more excited to put money into that versus buying new figures. No, but the rest of it, man, I'm big on money management. So
no, it's good. That's always good.
Yeah, the rest of that just go into my investment portfolio. So
no, that's good. That's good. Now let everybody know what state you're in case you have some neighbors in the chat or people who may be listening to this after.
Yeah. So I live in Arkansas. So okay. If anybody's local or they live nearby, please let me know.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you meet a few people.
Travel. I love to travel, and I don't know about you. I don't really have any local friends who collect. So
it's the funniest thing. I had been talking to this guy, that I met in a group a few years ago now, and we finally started like talking a little bit more. I think it was 2 years ago, and then he disappeared. Then last year, we started talking, and he invited me to Comic-Con. Again, we have never met. We talked maybe 15 times over 2 years. And the guy lives literally 2 minutes from my house.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
The guy's collection is insane. So you see
I would guarantee that means so much coming from a person who owns an insane collection themselves.
Let me tell you something. You see these cases behind me, these big cases? I have 6. He has 7.
Jeez.
And not only does he just buy Hot Toys, he'll get like 3-4 Iron Man, and he'll go and get them customized, get them chromed out.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yes. He's got 6 sick pieces that like nobody else has. That he has, sent out himself to customize himself. So I've seen pictures of his stuff. Let me tell you something. So he actually invited me again. He invited me last year, the Comic-Con. I couldn't go because of the whole mandates here in New York. he invited me again this year. I was finally able to go, so we went together to Comic-Con. And
This was past, right? That New York Comic Con.
Thursday, yeah, just now. This past Thursday and Saturday we went.
I'll hit you up. I'll go next year.
No, really, I'm trying to. So now that I experienced it for the very first time, finally when I could say been to Comic-Con, even though Sideshow didn't show up, XM Studios didn't show up, Queen Studios didn't show up, and again, I didn't even know about these. He was the one who told me. My friend Mike, my neighbor, he was the one who told me about it because. Again, I don't follow statue companies anyway, so I didn't even care. I just wanted to go see Sideshow. And he was the one who brought it up. He's like, oh, they didn't show up either. I was like, oh, that's right. But again, I didn't know if they went or not. And so, no, it's pretty cool to know that there's somebody around here, close to you that you could talk to and have that same passion and you collect the same stuff. Yeah, William, JP, your boy. This guy, unbelievable. So now, question for you. Speaking of reissues, have you benefited from anything reissued since you just started recently?
Oh, man.
Anything in your collection that that got reissued, you're like, oh, wow, I'm so happy that they did it.
You know what? I don't think I've gotten lucky like that, man. I don't think I own anything. What
would you like to be reissued that you don't have?
Oh, man, I'll just go with the two I said in the beginning, man. Darkseid Anakin and Count Dooku. Not that Count Dooku's, overly expensive. I mean, it's not. And that's something I could absolutely pick up. But I just feel like both of those are coming. But granted, I don't want to pay Darkseid Anakin money right now. I absolutely don't want to do that one. No. I'd rather get, 3 more pieces for the price that I've been seeing that one.
Exactly.
But, yeah, man, Darkseid Anakin, that's pretty high on my list.
Do you think that because he appeared, and I think he will be reissued under the Obi-Wan line, because remember that he appeared. Yeah, exactly. He appeared those 2 times, far away, but he was there, and they don't need you. They don't need to show you his face to let you know who that was. So, do you personally think that he's going to be reissued from Obi-Wan, from the Obi-Wan show?
Man, I very much believe that he is going to be reissued. Now, from what show or how they're going to, or what banner they're going to put onto it, I didn't quite think of it, but that makes sense. I mean, you say that, and I immediately agree with you. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because he'll be also in Ahsoka as well, the Ahsoka show. So that's another possibility from there. Obviously, I would assume that he's going to look different on that show as well. Maybe a different outfit, maybe a different, something's got to change. Different tone in the outfit, different color, different, something. Yeah. So that's also a possibility, but he's definitely coming. So I think, people who are desperate to get him now, even though it's an old figure, I think it's still hype because of, what it is. But I think a lot of people are going to regret paying those high prices when he gets reissued.
Yeah, man, I very much agree with that. That's like I said in the beginning too. Even though I want those pieces, I kind of refuse to buy such high secondary prices for things I believe are going to come. Sometimes I'd rather just wait it out versus getting it immediately.
Look at this guy. He just sold Darkseid Anakin for the 3rd time.
Hey, man, I told you this earlier, William. I'm very much for you make your money, man. I'm very much for capitalism. If you can make the hobby fun to sell, or you make a few bucks off this hobby, congrats to anybody who can do it.
No, of course. If again, like we just said, if your figures that you spend, money on for retail, it just goes up in value. There's nothing wrong with that. No. I think that the problem that people may have with people making money in the hobby is the vultures. They don't collect anything. They just buy to be able to resell and make money off of people who actually love collecting, who actually, you know what I mean? Like that person who doesn't collect and just bought to make money, yeah, whatever. He bought it. He was there first. He got it. Fine. But it's like somebody who would have appreciated the figure, for the figure and not for the money.
Yeah,
I think would have been happier than, but it is what it is.
Ideally, yeah, that's best case scenario, right?
This guy, he's the
Hey,
only
that's
one. He's the only one because I've never heard of anybody getting them this cheap. He's the
now,
only
you
one.
know what? I've actually seen him sell on a couple of groups for that price, and that's over the course of a year. I got really lucky, man. I ended up buying, what was it, like 14 Hot Toys at once for like a ridiculous price, but like that person needed some quick cash, right?
Right.
So that stuff happens.
Right. No, that's another thing. If
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with, because that's a lot. That's a lot of what's going on now. It's a lot of under retail. Like you'll buy them, and then all of a sudden, like you need that money, and you'll take that $20, $40, $60 loss, but you have that money in your hand immediately. You know what I mean? So it just depends, like, on the situation. I sold mine for $900 to a first timer with 0 reviews. He thought it was a. Can you imagine? My God. Did you buy a collector? Did you buy it for retail, or did you buy it like already when it was pricey, $600-$700 worth? Just now open quarter scale Spider-Man. That's a beautiful figure. Immediately, yeah. I was gonna ask you too. Do you have any quarter scales?
Yeah, I have a new one right here, quarter scale Stormtrooper, and then I have 8 other statues.
Not Hot Toys, not quarter scale Hot Toys.
No, not it's just statues.
Just statues, yeah. How many statues do you own? Yeah, but I value shop or something. This guy, unbelievable.
No, I have 9 statues. I guess 10 if you count the 1/1 scale Grogu.
Okay, that's from Hot Toys or Sideshow?
That one's Sideshow.
Sideshow. You like that one better than the Hot Toys one?
For the price I got this one for, hell yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you got it used, or you got it new cheap?
I got it used for very, very cheap. This was that bulk. I bought another collector's collection last year for a really good price. So
how many figures?
Like I just said, I think it was like 14.
Oh wow, 14 figures.
Yeah.
It's not bad. You know, it's funny. A couple of years ago, I want to say 3 years ago, 4 years ago now, I had met this guy. He was from Miami. And that's what he was doing. Him and his buddy apparently were in the groups just waiting on people to sell their collection. And I had never seen really, anybody selling full collections like that. I mean, I saw here and there over the years, like, oh, I'm getting out of a hobby, I'm done, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, very rare. But this guy sounded like he was buying collections left and right. Like, oh, I just bought this collection, 10 figures, 8 figures. Like, what?
You know what? I would absolutely love to do that. But, when you do it via a group, that shipping is really that's going to kill you if they don't sell it to you for like 50% to retail, right? Especially buying things in a bulk thing like that. Luckily, this guy was like 4 hours away, 3 hours away.
You drove?
Something. Yeah, I drove.
Oh, that's not. I mean, you saved a lot of money, I guess. You paid him cash?
Yeah, I paid in cash.
Yeah, so that's better for him, I guess.
Oh, for sure.
You got to get that quarter scale Vader. Yeah, I'm telling you, I missed that quarter scale Vader because, again, I was not planning. I tell you guys this all the time. I was not planning on getting into quarter scales at all.
Do you only collect quarter scale Hot Toys or statues?
No, only Hot Toys. Period. First and foremost, Hot Toys. Like I said, I wasn't getting into quarter scales at all. It was not my thing. I just 1/6. I'm obsessed with 1/6. Then they made Iron Man. They had made quarter scales. They had made a few before I started with the quarter scales, and they made Iron Man. I think it was the first one was like a Mark 42, I believe, and it was like it was the regular deluxe, but the deluxe had that really fancy arc reactor base, and then you could get like the battle damage plates and heads and whatever. So I was like, oh man, I got to get 2. So that's how it started. Then I started getting all of them. Now I got 2 Spider-Man quarters. I don't even have room for this. I got 2 Mandalorian quarter scales.
You know what? I know Sideshow had that quarter scale Spider-Man for sale. What was it, a few days ago or last week?
Yes.
For it
Discount.
was like 30-40% off or something.
Yep.
I saw that. I wanted to pull the trigger, but I just didn't know how a quarter scale Hot Toy would be, or if I would enjoy it.
Oh my God! Just picture it 1/6 bigger.
Yeah.
Like the quality, the body, the detail, the accessories, the head sculpt, the like, everything is just multiply that much bigger. There's like, it's like you're having a you know those when you were a kid, those big toys, but you could tell like they were really cheap.
Oh
But
yeah.
like that, but like super high end, amazing quality. That's what a quarter scale is. Beautiful, beautiful piece. So if you could get it for cheap, it's worth every penny. And now I don't know if you saw, but they got the No Way Home suit. I believe is coming in quarter scale. They have the black and gold suit coming in quarter scale. So they're gonna keep going with these lines. Quarter scale lines.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely end up buying one just to try it out.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. They're really, 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 really nice figures. Really, really good quality. Like I said, the likeness. I had to get 2 Spider-Man because the Tom Holland head sculpt amazing, and then I was like, man, but I need one with the Spider-Man mask on, so I had to get 2. So you have to. So I mean, that's just me. So I have one display with the mask, one display with the Tom Holland head sculpt. Same thing with Iron Man when he has a head sculpt. I have to get 2. And that's how you get in trouble with these things because you're so they're just so cool. It just makes you want to buy them. Now, I asked this question to everybody. If you were the owner of Hot Toys, what would you do differently?
Oh, man. So in my job, in my world, right, I work in client management. A key word that we toss around is sentiment, right? What is our customer sentiment? So it's my job to keep a pretty good pulse on that. Even if we're hitting the expectations of the customer, if the sentiment isn't good, long-term growth isn't really going to happen. Now, Hot Toys, where I think they failed, is they very much have taken advantage of the fact that they're the primary in this hobby, right? So despite what they do, what they say, what they reissue, they have us, right? Hook, line, sinker. That's it. Now, the exciting thing is to see InArt come into play. Now, InArt is paying these licensing fees, right? They're going to be a pretty big competitor with 6 scale. So Hot Toys isn't just going to be dominating this market. Same thing with these third-party companies, man. I'm seeing a lot more people get more excited for those, especially since they're able to do essentially the exact same figures for much, much, much cheaper.
Like a Soso Toys.
Yeah, Soso Toys. Yeah, Mars, like that Joker. So my big thing would be sentiment, man. Honestly, keep it. I just feel like they are kind of like HasLab, dude. They just seem very out of touch with collectors. They seem very out of touch with what people want. They seem very out of touch with this fan base for people like you who have been doing this for a decade, right? That'd be my first and foremost thing. Figure out the sentiment, see where people stand, and then change that and change it as quickly as I can. At least in my world, in my profession, that's first and foremost something you have to figure out. The sentiment, keep that in check at all times, and then know the expectations, right? For my customers, for my company, I need to know their expectations for us. I need to hold my company accountable to those expectations. And that's the only way to succeed or continuously grow your business. So
now, what about, you just brought up InArt. What do you think about them getting into the game? And do you own any Queen Studio stuff?
No Queen Studios. I've seen, I think they're almost untouched in the statue game, right? Them and Prime, Prime X1, XM, they're up there, right? I've never seen any of it in person. I've only seen it via pictures and whatnot. They're amazing. The prototype pictures, granted they're prototype pictures, but the fact that it's rooted hair and it looks great quality, doesn't look like a Barbie. I'm very excited. What I truly believe is this: with shared market share, is going to come more competitive pricing, right? So like what I mean by that is Hot Toys has just been kind of dominating this one realm by themselves, and they can raise these prices because we're going to end up paying this. But with InArt coming in, granted their prices are a bit more, but their quality is quite a bit more too. Hot Toys is going to have to change something. They're either going to have to up the quality and keep that price the same, or man, they're gonna risk losing some customers.
Well, what do you think? So
we're collectors. This is an expensive hobby, and I definitely know a lot of people who would rather spend that extra $100 with InArt versus that deluxe for Hot Toys.
Well, I've seen the complete opposite, and I was gonna ask you this. So, for example, you have I don't know if you saw for the new Batman movie, the Robert Pattinson movie, you have a 3-pack, right? It was a 2 figure. So you have the Bruce Wayne, you have the Batman, and you have the Bat Signal for $1,000. Okay. You have each figure for, I think you have different tiers for each figure as well. One rooted, one sculpted. I don't even really know what the price is because I'm not getting any of them anyway. But then you have, no, I'm not. No, I'm not getting. I'm getting the Joker. I'm getting 2 Jokers sculpted, but I'm not getting any of the new Batman figures so this is where I was going. So Hot Toys is making the Batman, right? So you have the Batman with the deluxe with the Bat Signal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the tons of accessories. You got the flying suit that you're not getting with InArt. You got all this stuff for $500. I think it's either $515 or $525, right? All this stuff that you're not getting from InArt at all, right? But InArt is giving you rooted hair, and it's charging you an extra $150 for rooted hair.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, and again, I've seen that people are perfectly content with the $515 or $25 for the deluxe Batman Hot Toys over this InArt stuff because you get more value from Hot Toys.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
Yeah, so for me personally, to be honest, I don't care about rooted hair. I don't care. For me, the likeness of Hot Toys is perfect for me. I'm fine with that. I wouldn't get the additional value from rooted hair, even though so many customizers, so many high-end collectors, like that's it, right? That's why people have had custom Heath Ledger Jokers created for their collection and whatnot. I'd be on the fence, or I'd be on the field of Hot Toys on this one. But I know a lot of people are excited about this InArt Joker and Batman. But I think at the end of the day, it's just which would you prefer, right? Sure. The quality of that one figure, such as the sculpt and the hair, or just like you said, the amount of accessories or base in the base with it, right? I prefer having my Bat Signal and some accessories versus rooted hair. To be fair, I kind of made that comment of like Barbie. Like it doesn't look like a Barbie. It actually looks really good. I've never seen a figure with rooted hair in person. For me though, like I don't know, none of these figures in here.
None of your Hot Toys have rooted hair. No Wonder Woman, none of that.
Yeah, no, like none of them would. I think it would like improve it for me in particular, right? Exactly. Maybe it's because I haven't seen it in person. But I don't think there's one figure in here I'm like, well, damn, man, if only this had rooted hair. My Annabelle and my Billy puppet from Saw, my 1/1 scale statues, they have rooted hair, but that's a bit different. They'd look silly without it.
Right. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't care, and same as me. Like, I don't go out of my way looking for rooted anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. If the Hot Toys comes with it, good. If it doesn't, good. It's not something that I'm looking for anyway. But there are people who love that rooted hair look, and they die for it, and they've been, crying that Hot Toys should be making rooted stuff. And I think those are going to be the hardcore ones going into InArt because they like that whole, and they're going to be paying for it. You know what I mean? You're from InArt, you're going to get, what do you get? A really small base, very plain, round, flat, not even tall base, just very round and flat. You're going to get again, we haven't seen anything in hand, so we don't even know.
Yep.
But it looks like the tailoring is spot on. You know, whether it's rooted or sculpted, the head sculpt, the facial expressions, and the likeness look spot on. Look very good, and to a certain extent, even though it's supposed to be the same exact thing, it looks different than Hot Toys, which is great because if you want to get both, you could get them both and have two different looks. You know what I mean? Which is awesome. They're not making the exact same thing. But again, I don't think that people are going to sit there and say, you know what? And some people are. I'm not saying they won't. Some people are. But at the same token, they're going to, I don't think they're going to say, oh, I'm going to just go, in our all in and forget Hot Toys. To a certain extent, they will start buying everything in art if it's something they want. But I can guarantee you there'll always be more fans of Hot Toys because Hot Toys was what got them into the hobby.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at no point is Hot Toys going to lose the amount of market share that they have. In art coming into play, though, hopefully is going to bring the competitiveness out of them, right? Either up in the quality or levelizing the prices, because they're not going to be the high-end collector's item anymore. It's going to be in art. That's going to be the high-end collector's item. So, competitiveness usually kind of equals out that market field. So I'd be curious to see. And it all really depends on how amazing the product actually is when people start getting it in hand and what collectors say on that first day, right? That's gonna be the telltale sign of how it all goes.
Yeah, the Joker is gonna be what makes everybody either love or hate the company. However that Joker turns out, that's gonna be what makes them or break them. And it's kind of sad because they're gonna hold them to that high standard because they came off like they're gonna be the top dog. But, this is going to be the first figure, which to a certain extent, you got to give them a chance, to improve and to develop their thing. But people are going to be rough. People are going to be rough on that company. I'm telling you right now, they're going to be very rough. And they have a question for you. Go ahead, finish that, and I'll have a question.
But I'll say, man, collectors, as we know, we're a finicky bunch, man. We're going to see some ruthless hate if they get one small thing wrong. I'm pretty excited, but also pretty nervous for them too. So
we have a question from Thule. Thank you, Thule, for the question. How often do you repose your figures?
Hey, thank you, Thule, for the question. I said this pretty early on. The posing isn't something I'm necessarily good at. It's not something I enjoy. Like I got a few boxes over here of things that have came in. I haven't opened them because I usually don't enjoy that part. Luckily, the girlfriend, though, she enjoys it. So they get reposed whenever she gets bored and wants to repose them. I really do not. I've also have only owned this for about 2 years. So I don't know how often people repose their stuff. But mine have only been changed maybe twice in the past 2 years, or twice in the span of me owning a figure.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw my post of the drones today. That Spider-Man pose has been like that since I got the figure. It's been like that for years. However long that figure came out, last year or the year before, it's been like that since. And the only reason why I posed it that way was because you could. You know what I mean? That Spider-Man, you can do anything you want to it because that suit is loose enough where you're not going to ruin anything. But besides that, I don't post anything really. Hold the gun, hold some, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm not really a poser with this stuff, man. It takes extreme talent. I don't know if Harold is still in the chat, but he's somebody who has that talent. I do not. My figures are all posed pretty basic, if not pretty vanilla, museum pose most of the time. The ones that are in somewhat dynamic posing, pretty much the girlfriend did that, and she's learning as she goes. So,
what got her into the hobby, like enjoying the hobby? You, like being with you, or she knew that this before you?
Yeah, dating me. Yeah, this is what got her into it. Yeah, man, she's extremely supportive. It's one of those things where I'm sure everybody in this chat, man, having a hobby as an adult is extremely hard. I'm sure if you guys ask your friends, most of them don't really have hobbies, right? Outside of saying, I hang out with my friends. I feel very blessed to have this hobby. And with that, she's extremely supportive. She looks at it as like kind of like date nights when I get something new so we can sit together, open it, watch a YouTube review of it, and pose the action figure, take some pictures, and yeah, that's kind of like a bonding thing for us. And how
I was just literally going to say that's like a bonding experience for you guys.
yeah, man, it's one of the things she knows I absolutely love it, and that's just her way of connecting.
This guy's unbelievable.
Yeah, I like he's good people.
JP, yeah, no, JP's good. Oh man. Now, one more question for you. So, what is it that you really, really like and really, really I ask this question to everybody as well. What is that you really, really like and really, really dislike about the community? Just, honestly,
Yeah.
what you really feel.
Yeah, man, my favorite thing about the community, right, is the fact when I get a new action figure, because even without the community, I would still have this collection, albeit probably not some of them, but I would own a lot of these because I enjoy being around the things I love. The best thing about this community is, man, I have people I can talk to. I share some of this with my coworkers, but we don't really ever have really in-depth conversations. There's a lot of movies. I'm a big movie buff, so this community has allowed me to just chat about movies when I see them. And another great thing that I'm very privileged for, I travel a lot, so I've got to meet a lot of people when I do get to travel. So like it's made traveling for work and pleasure a lot more fun. The thing I dislike, man, probably like the negativity. And I know this isn't everything. That's probably a very lame answer. People,
well, no, because if it has affected you directly, then it would be more. It would hit home more than just seeing it all around. You know what I mean? So, what do you mean? Like, explain.
Yeah. So, okay, so I do get some hate on my pictures, and I don't really even care about that. Like, the annoying thing about negativity is, like, when Hot Toys releases a new Iron Man, it's immediately people, hundreds of comments saying, this is ridiculous, we get another one. Or when a new head sculpt comes out, they're like, this is trash, this looks nothing like that. And I'm sitting here looking at him like, this is a prototype. It looks pretty good to me. And then just hundreds of people just coming in like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, what? I was like, this looks pretty damn good. Like, I'm looking at this, I can very much tell who it is. Like that negativity. I can take trolling comments. None of that bothers me whatsoever.
Right. No, and we were talking about that earlier. I feel like, that comes from a lot of people who, want to be involved, want to feel like they're involved or be a part of something, but at the end of the day, they're not going to buy it anyway. You know what I mean? They're very quick to judge something and talk negatively about something that they're necessarily, not going to purchase. You know what I mean? It's something that it's just, the internet has given everybody a platform and a voice. And, if you're not going to buy it, it's easier for you to say, I don't like it than say, God, I really like this, but I'm not going to buy it anyway. You know what I mean? I think it's a harder pill to swallow saying you like something that you're not going to buy. And I'm not saying everybody's like this, because a lot of people, are very genuine and they're, they like something. Oh, I love this, even though they're not going to buy it. But it's just, I feel like a lot of the negativity comes from people who, don't really collect anyway. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to be negative because that's just who they are in their daily life. And I don't know if you watched the last stream that I did with Daniel Lopez, who's in the chat right now. We went over that, as well. It's just very quick to just be negative for no reason. Be negative to other people asking questions. You know what I mean? Just attacking people for no reason. And it's just insane. It's something that, you would think like, oh, it's toys, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to be an outlet. We're like you said, we're old grown now. You know what I mean? We're not kids anymore. Even though you have kids in the hobby, absolutely, but it's not. You're not collecting Legos. You're not collecting.
Yeah, you kind of nailed something, man. I've seen this in a lot of group chats or group Facebook groups, right? And I can see why it's intimidating. I've seen new collectors, and they label themselves new collectors or new to the hobby, ask a simple question such as, hey, where do I buy one of these figures? Or like, hey, what is Sideshow? Or like, what's the difference between Sideshow and Hot Toys? Or what is a third? They're asking these simple questions, and they just get roasted or attacked like immediately. And I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, like you could have answered them faster than you came up with that insult,
No, and it's crazy. And again, so unnecessarily like treating people like dirt. And again, and it's funny because like, again, we talked about this last time. People want to come off so positive, but it's like, man, like when you see like when there's negativity, it's bad. It's really bad. You know what I mean? There's no like in between. It's either all positive or they're eating you alive. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
that's it. Let me see what my girlfriend went from pretty uninterested in these figures to now. This year, have all my horror XL downstairs above the fire. Nathan, that's great though. That's all. At least they're appreciated, and she don't want to throw them away.
Hey, speaking of horror 6-scale figures, I have my Hot Toys Pennywise that comes in Friday, so I'm excited about that one.
Which one?
Hot Toys Pennywise.
Oh, you didn't get it yet, man. That figure, I bought 4.
Comes in Friday. I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited.
I bought 4. I opened 2 because you have to display both heads, like 2 different worlds.
Yeah,
and that's actually another figure.
For the price I got it for, I may end up getting another one for the.
It's worth.
I got the other one. Actually, this is thanks to William. So William, thank you so much. He actually tagged me in the post. I got it for $150 shipped.
Oh, William JP?
Yeah. No, $160 shipped. $160 shipped. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good.
Yeah, so thank you to William.
I think we did see that. I think it was a used one. It was a used somebody was selling. I saw that.
Yeah, and they were just missing a clamshell that held the hands. And honestly, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I'd rather save $100 than have one little clamshell that I'll probably end up getting for free if I ask for it. So, that's the other. Okay, that's the other thing too that I just said right there. Especially if you're positive and you build your own community and you treat people really well, and you essentially, I hate using terms like this, but networking, right? This will go a long way for people who plan on staying in the hobby or people who need help at some point, right? There's some figures that I've gotten for very, very good deals from buddies, and I've sold figures to buddies for a really good deal just because they've helped me out. Absolutely. I've shipped out dozens of Marvel Legends for free because I don't collect them anymore, and I've given out tons of Funko. I just gave away a dozen last week to my buddy at work for his kids, right? So like, if you treat people well in this hobby, or you're good, you're well aware of your brand, it's gonna go a long way.
Yep.
So
you make good relationships, but again, that also. There's a lot of people who don't really care for that either. You know what I mean?
for sure.
You may be the lucky one, but you could have been dealing with somebody or known somebody for a long time, and they, when they want money, because they feel like, they feel like you're never going to meet these people anyway. They're not going to be your friends in real life anyway, so they don't really care. They just want to make that money, and it is what it is. So it's good. Absolutely, it would make sense to try to make as many friends or as many connections as possible, of course. But there are some people, on the other side of the spectrum where they're just greedy and they just want the money and that's it.
And hopefully people can figure that stuff out pretty well. Like for me, I'll definitely do my best to take care of people who I deem worth it, right? Or people that I led into like my own personal community, like the Razor Crest. I bought several, and I bought a couple of them for buddies who couldn't quite put out the money in that 60-90 day time frame, right? And I only knew them from the hobby itself, but they treated me well and everything else, so I helped them with that. But
Man,
now I know.
God bless you.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's either I do that or they're going to spend a ridiculous amount of money in a year or so. So.
Yeah, no, sure. No, and again, it's very rare to meet people like that. You know what I mean? Very, very rare. So if you do meet those people, appreciate them. And like right now, for example, I don't know if he's still in the chat. 1-6 Junkie. This guy, he, and I appreciate him so much, and he doesn't understand. And I've told him multiple times, thank you, and let him know how much I appreciate how much he's helped me. But he came out of nowhere, and he did my thumbnails. Like, I made my own on like, Paint app on the computer, and it was the crap. And he just out of nowhere, he just sends like, oh look, I made this. He's like, I know you made yours, but here you go. Let me tell you, this guy like made my whole channel with these thumbnails because now it looks more professional. You know what I mean? If you will, it's not so doesn't look so beginner. His thumbnails that he makes, ridiculous. Look at his logo right now. Like he makes stuff. He's really, really talented. So I appreciate that guy, man. He doesn't even understand. And so he bought something off of me, and I saved him about like almost $100 just because of
that's what it is. I mean, that right there, that's the perfect example.
Yeah. Right? So and I just and I couldn't even if I would have lost money, I would have been perfectly fine helping him because I don't ask people for anything. You know what I mean? I don't like to ask people for anything. And if I do ask for something, I have to pay them back. I can't just take and take and take. That's just not me. You know what I mean? I feel uncomfortable when somebody gives me something and I don't give in return. It doesn't sit well with me. So the moment that I was able to take care of him, boom, immediately. And I even told him, I said, yo, anything you ever need, if I could help you, do not feel weird asking me because that's just who I am. You know what I mean? I appreciate people like that. He didn't have to help me. He didn't have to spend any time, making that for me. I didn't ask him to do it. So it shows the type of person that he is. And you can't just disregard people like that. Those people are number one, very genuine people who are hard to come by. He didn't try to sell me anything. He didn't ask me for money. He didn't say, oh, give me the, you cannot, have enough of those people around you. You know what I mean? It's just, they're very rare people. So, and a lot of the guys in here right now, you have Insane One always sending me stuff, because I'm not on top of all the news like a lot of the guys are, so I tell them, if you guys hear of something, please let me know, message me, send me screenshots, send me the information, and I'll, if you guys don't want to post it in a group, I'll post it in a group. But I appreciate them keeping me informed because I can't be, on top of everything 24/7. I would love to be, but I just can't, and a lot of people, obviously, everybody has a different schedule. Everybody has, different hours to whether it's be online, go to work, whatever it is. So they help me out a lot to keep not only myself informed, but the group informed, whether it's Instagram informed, the people who follow me and stuff like that. And I appreciate all of them. So that's why I always try to tell them, if you can, please just post in the group. And if not, they send it to me and I'll post in the group. So it's not just, obviously he's a big one, but everybody, like I said, Rick here sends me a lot of information all the time. Insane One said that's why I confused them because, they send me so much stuff constantly, and there's more. I just can't think right now.
Yeah.
But it's priceless to have people like that around you. And I love people like that because I'm the same way. I like helping people out. You know what I mean? I like being there for people. I like people to come to me for support, for help, for questions. Anybody that has messaged me ever can tell you I never not answer their question. I was, I was ever rude to them. They can't say it because I'm not that person, So having people like that, man, priceless.
Yeah, I'll give them a follow too right after this.
Yeah, no, and they do like Clone Collector was another one. They do a lot of reels, and you got to see these things. Same thing with Harold Green, Kurt Teft. Also, he does a lot of beautiful pictures in my group. I mean, he posts them everywhere, but he shares them in my group as well. You got William JP.
I'm friends with William on Facebook. Once again, thank you for the suggestion for the Pennywise, William. Thank you. Saved me a lot of money.
Yeah, no, so so like that. So people look out for each other, and it's it's appreciated because they could easily not give a crap about you and say, oh, that's not my problem, but just taking your time out to care for that, it's just so meaningful. Art Kosher, what's up, man? Thanks for coming. So so I will always be thankful for people like that. I love having people like that around me. Like I said, you cannot have enough people like that around you who look out for you, who help you. Because again, like I said, I don't ask for help. I don't ask anybody for anything just because I feel weird. It's just not me. I rather, figure it out myself and struggle than feel like, oh, I'm bothering somebody. Because it's not about the help. It's I feel like I'm bothering someone. You know what I mean?
I'm actually right there with you. I am right there with you on this. And I'm the type of, like you just said, I want people to come to me if I can. Help or at least suggest or point them in the right direction or do what I can to help them in that situation. For sure, I definitely understand that. And thing like you just said, I mean, now going forward, there's that trust in a base built between you guys, right? And that goes a long way too.
Right. So we're trying. That's another reason why I'm trying to get a lot of whoever wants to go next year, and that's why I'm starting now. Anything could happen. By next year, we could all die next year. You know what I mean? By next year, but
I'm sure you're gonna have people say that they're down and they'll go. Like, I absolutely mean it. So like the girlfriend and I, we're going to Star Wars Celebration in London. So like we're making like next year is gonna be like our first kind of experience into that whole thing. So awesome. She's also a huge we have it planned to go to New York anyway next year because it's something that her and her family do because she loves going to Broadway shows. So yeah, man, I'll absolutely be there. 100%.
No, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to get a bunch. Again, this was my first year. I had never been. I loved it. Again, Sideshow wasn't there, sucked. But besides that, just being there, it's incredible. The amount of the cosplayers, the whole experience was sick. And not only be there one day, but 2 days. Again, thanks to my buddy Moldoc Mike. Without him, I've been dying to go for years. I would have never made it. The fact that he's been there multiple times, I was actually, I was even more happy because he had been there plenty already. So I was able to just follow him around and have him show me, which was even better. It's not like we just had never been and we just showed up together like, two chickens without a head walking around not knowing where to go. That just made the experience that much better. So I appreciate it even more. And so, next year, just to have a group of, good guys come together and just, just hang out at the, one of the biggest conventions, like of our hobby, you know what I mean? Of our passion. So I think that's, I just came up with that idea. I said, whoever wants to come, just let me know. I have a whole list going in the group. And obviously, like I said, things will happen. If you can't make it, you can't make it. But at least, you, if you want to make it, you can start planning towards it and make sure that you're available during that time. I will feel a great disturbance in the forest as millions of voices suddenly cry out. They'll need and like it. Insane one's nuts. Oh man, thank you, man. Because for those memes made using his picture, agree. Which memes? What memes? Which memes? What memes?
It's dude. It's those memes that were getting made of me. And
the picture, the one I sent you.
Yeah.
There's more than one.
Yeah.
There's more than one.
Yeah.
I just saw the one.
There's two.
Oh, okay. No, I just saw
that. Man. I like I told you. I know you and I had a conversation about it. I reached out to that guy just because out of sheer confusion. Which was fine, man. Like I even told you, I don't really care. This is the internet, man. It's expected, especially with like some of the pictures I put out. I guess I kind of understand it.
But like, why? What I didn't understand is like you didn't even know the person, so why you? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what I don't understand. Like, do they follow you and they saw that, or like I don't get it?
I have no idea to be honest, man. And that's like one of those things too, especially with a lot of this group. My following on Instagram, most of the people I don't know what they look like or anything else. Yeah, of course. You know, this like I said, this is the internet. There's nothing I can do except have a positive mindset the best I can about it. Once again, I'm pretty brand oriented just due to my profession, right? I'm not going to attack anybody in the comments. If you saw the pictures, I'm sure you saw me just trying to make jokes out of it too and promote myself and get a good laugh. No, the only thing I wanted to know was from the guy of just intention. You know, I looked at it and I didn't know if it was like a compliment to me that I'm being compared to Jeddah Patrol, who I actually like Jeddah. I've actually had good conversations with the guy. I like his content. Or if it was just like hating on my pictures, which I kind of understand.
But no, like the one thing for me, like, you know, like whatever. Though, and I told you this, you know, when we talked about this. God bless you, because like you have been the most positive person about this. Let me tell you something. If somebody did that, that's happened to me in my group. They'll use my head and they'll cut it out and put it on, you know, things as a joke, and I crack up. Like I know when it's a joke.
Yeah.
But it's coming from somebody who I don't know, and they're posting that stuff in a group, whether it's a compliment, you know, or a joke on me or the other person who they put on my body or whatever it is, just the way that I am. I'm not a troublemaker. I don't look for problems. I mind my own business 24/7. I don't go out of my way to bother nobody, you know. But don't come for me. Don't come for me. That's my only rule. You will never hear that I'm going out of my way to bother anybody, that I'm picking on this person, that, you know, that I'm making fun of this person, that I'm making memes at anybody or pictures or that's not me. I'm very respectful all around, but do not come for me because you're not going to like it. And that's
It's that New Yorker in you, man.
I'm not even. That's the Taurus in me. Not even New Yorker. That's just, you know, like I'm very quiet. I don't, like I said, I don't bother anybody. I just, it's just, I don't like getting into trouble. I don't like that shit. I don't like drama. But if you come for me, just be prepared, because you're not gonna, you know what I mean? So just make your jokes on somebody else. Go bother somebody else. Go pick on somebody else. Don't come for me. So the fact that you took it that way, I'm like, God bless this man, because I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, no. Like I said, man, the only thing that upset me was I tried reaching out to that gentleman directly and having a conversation, just because I was just really curious. You know, I just want to have some dialogue with him, right? And if he were to tell me like, hey, I absolutely think your content's ridiculous. I hate seeing you trying to flex, or I hate your collection, or you're super skinny, you look like shit. If he says anything like that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine.
So what did he say?
Yeah, he didn't respond to me. No.
Say so that it wasn't positive. So it wasn't.
No, yeah, no. That's how I knew it. And like I said, you know, not a whole lot I can do. I know when I post, like, I'm sure I'm going to post a picture tomorrow, and I'm going to share it to some of these groups, and I'm expecting some awful backlash, right? Like, it is crazy. Like, I don't think it's like a bad picture. It's just my usual content.
No, it's even if it's a bad picture, it's your page. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have he doesn't have to be on your page looking at your stuff. Don't feel like you have to change for people.
Oh, that's no. Like I said, I'm going to post regardless, and I know what's going to happen, but I'm very fine with it, because here's the thing. I'm very proud of my collection. My girlfriend took the picture. We had a lot of fun doing opening some boxes, opening some stuff. Like the picture I'm going to post, I think it's going to be tomorrow. it's me standing next to my life-size Darth Maul holding baby Grogu, and it's gonna be like a family portrait kind of thing. And just with that, and granted, I'm in a tank top, right? So you're gonna see a little bit of bicep and whatnot. It just with that, I'm just expecting some negative comments, but like I said, I'm gonna take it in really good jest. Because if I get comments like, "Oh, you look awful" and whatnot,
But you have it. But you have it.
I know, like factually, I definitely do not look awful, and
but that's the thing. I think it's like William said, it's hating, number one. You know, I could guarantee you this person. You know, I don't know the person's. I don't know. You know, I don't know the person either. I don't know anything about them. I've never seen them post anything. So that's where it comes from, right? Like who are they to be picking on you? You know what I mean? Why do they feel that they're superior, you know, to you, that they're able to make fun of you? You know what I mean? Like what is it about them that makes them feel that, you know what, I'm above this guy, that I could go out of my way to get his picture to make fun of him. You know what I mean? Like
you know what it is. I very much acknowledge this, right? If I were to take a picture, just my 1/1 scale Darth Maul with baby Grogu, if I just post those two side by side, there's been no negative comments outside of people don't like the expression. I get some people who don't like the head sculpt exactly on my Darth Maul, which that's fine. That's fair. But when they see me in the picture too, and they see a little bit of muscle, and the thing is, I'm really lean, so I'm also very veiny, right? And that's just due to how lean my body mass is. So when they see that, they immediately think douchey, and I very much get that. So like when I
because you take care of yourself and you're not a fat bastard doesn't mean you're douchey. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah, but like this is one of those things I very much acknowledge. I get how it's gonna be kind of a douchey picture, so I kind of understand it. So when I do post these, and I do get some negative. Granted, usually it's very much overwhelming positive. Besides this whole one circumstance with this one guy,
right?
And then some bandwagon hate on the memes things. But like the great thing about what happened with that, I had a lot of people reach out to me. And they're like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, what's the drama?" I'm like, honestly, I have no idea. I explained it. So many people were like, "Wow, like really positive reaction to this." Like, and I had some people follow me, and then like me and Jeddah ended up talking about it too, privately. So like it even got me to like talk to this guy who I really enjoy about the memes. So like
it made a connection.
Stronger. Nothing negative happened. Like overall, like it was positive for me. So.
Well, that's another thing. Like, you know, the reason why when I saw that and I sent it to you, I was like, I know this kid is not, you know, going around bothering anybody. I knew right away. So I said, do you know this guy? That was my first question. I said, do you know this? Because I was like, this is not okay. You know what I mean? And again, I didn't even know you like that. You know what I mean?
And you literally said that. I know you literally said
because
that.
I knew because again, I've been around for so long and I know how digs come out, and I know people, you know, try to attack people and low blow people. So that's why I was like, right away, I was like, you know, and the fact that you weren't on there, you know, I was like, he doesn't even know about this. You know what I mean? So I was like, this is not okay. So I gave you the heads up, and then, like I said, whatever you wanted to do out of that was up to you. But I was like, man, God bless this guy. And I even said to you, I was like, God bless you. I was like, man, I was like, there is absolutely no way that you're going to come for me and you're going to be like, oh, it's cool. Hell no. Never in a million years would I put up with shit like that. It's just not me.
That. I very much respect that. Yeah.
So last question of the night. You ready for this?
Let's hear it, brother.
Favorite figure in your collection? Let's see it.
Yeah, this is hard. I'm a caveat with two things. One, I was thinking 6 scale. And if you ask me tomorrow, my answer probably definitely going to be different. but I think my overall favorite figure in the collection is my 1/1 scale Darth Maul, because I absolutely love him. I think it's fantastic. And if I were to saw
1/1 scale?
Yeah, he's life size.
You got the whole thing?
Yeah.
What's that? First of all, what brand is that?
Custom.
How much is that?
I'll message you. Good deal, though. You know what? I'm not going to do
No,
that.
how about you? No, retail, not what you paid retail.
No, this was custom. Like, this is 1-1. Like,
Oh,
this
you
is
had that
one-
made.
Yeah, this guy made this 1 of 1. So,
Oh, I thought you meant
Yeah.
1 with scale.
well, it is 1-1 scale, but it is also 1 of 1.
Oh man.
Yeah, 1-1 scale, and a guy a few hours from me made this, hand painted the sculpt himself, everything.
That's awesome. So that's
Yeah.
your main favorite, and then 6
And
scale.
then 6 scale, it's gonna go my So Toys Gambit. Now, reason why he's my favorite, for one, my buddy actually did the pose, so the pose looks really good. It really shows off the character a lot. But this is what made me fall in love with So Toys. Everything about it is fantastic. I'm also obsessed. I love the X-Men. In looking at this, looking at the head sculpt, which is awesome, it just brings me back to my childhood. Granted, I didn't collect anything when I was a kid, but I watched the 90s cartoon very religiously. So seeing this, love it. Absolutely love it. Granted, ask me tomorrow, it'll probably change. I was really tempted to choose the So Green Menace, because I did just open that a few weeks ago, and I'm still actually in love with it because it's so classic. Like, it looks like I'm looking at like something on a comic book page. So I'm obsessed with that one right now. But yeah, this one, I'll definitely choose this one.
That's a beautiful figure. All right, man, that was awesome. It was awesome to have you on here tonight. Definitely would love to have you on again at some point. I'm going to invite you back if you're interested for a panel one of these days. So
anything you need from me, anytime you want me to do something, I'm here.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, I want to have a few guys. I want to do an interview for my buddy Moduck Mike. I'm waiting for him to give me his schedule. Guys, let me plug in the raffle real quick. So there's about 26 spots left for the Big Hitters raffle. If you haven't yet joined the group, 16 Evolution on Facebook. I also keep you guys updated with the thank you guys for being here also. I keep you guys updated on my Instagram, Fabs Figures. I'm almost at 9,000 followers on TikTok, which is super awesome. I think if I would have had my YouTube channel, at the same time as TikTok, I think I would have been, more ahead than I am now. But I hit 1,000 guys, so I'm excited about that as well. Also, guys, if you are interested in some merch, I have my as you can see, t-shirts, any color, any size. So you can get them customized with. So right now, I'm going to show you guys the back, and I posted in my group. So you have, also my logo on the back, and you have my social media. Obviously, for whoever orders, whether it's a t-shirt or a hoodie, and I'm going to make hats as well. I'm going to remove. It's optional if you want to leave my social media on. You can. If you don't want it, if you just want the logo in the back, that's optional. No cost added to it. But I need to make a certain amount of orders to be able to make the purchase. So if you guys are interested, I'll start a list for whoever wants one. You tell me your size. If you want a hoodie or a t-shirt, you let me know. Also hats as well. They're gonna be kind of like the Hot Toys hats. I just got to figure out, what they're gonna run, and depending on how many are order as well. But yeah, let them know where they can find you, Austin.
Yeah, so primarily on Instagram, Austin_Nicholas_. I do have Facebook. I do post in there, but good luck probably finding Austin Nicholas on Facebook and then finding me. But Instagram, that's kind of where I live.
All right.
Also, thank you for everybody in the chat. I'm going to try and remember everybody's name to look up on Instagram and give you a follow. I'll definitely do my best.
Well, just go on my page and you'll see them there.
Perfect. I'll try to remember the names.
Yeah, they're very supportive, and I appreciate all of them. A lot of them have been, around from, I think, like day one for me. So
Also, brother, I want to give you a shout out, and I also want you to know when I post this, I'm going to give you a shout out as well. Okay. Granted, I know you're not the first to do this, but you're my inspiration for it, so I still got to give the appropriate shout out. Okay. Now, I bought myself a little turntable thing, and granted, the turntable thing I bought, this thing's extremely small. So you obviously have a much bigger one. But I'm definitely not going to steal your content. I'm definitely getting a bit inspired by it. But I will very much be giving you a shout out for the inspiration of showing off the figure once I actually get it.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, man. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate you being on. Again, you're definitely going to be on again. 1-6 Junkie, have a good night, my friend. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you, brother. Have a good night.